My name is Pamela Smith, and I am the director of the Center for Science and Society. The center has organized and is sponsoring this wonderful conference today. And I'll just say a few words about what the center does. Food and farming, as you all know because you're here, is one of the many sites at which we see a real entwinement of nature and culture. And it's these kinds of sites that bring together science and society, that bring together nature and culture, that the center is interested in and studies and brings together scholars and practitioners of the humanities and the social sciences and the natural sciences in order to engage in really substantive research around these questions and in curriculum development. So issues like sustainability that we are examining today are really problems that cannot be approached from only one disciplinary perspective. And so the center is really interested in training students for the 21st century university, for doing the kind of research that can provide really multidisciplinary perspectives on questions like this in groups of practitioners from diverse disciplines. And I think that's really what makes the center different, is that we have natural scientists, like one of the organizers of this program today, Shahid Naeem, environmental biologist, and together with a historian of science and a scholar of science studies, Sara Tjossem, they are the leaders of the co-directors, sorry, of the cluster on the environmental sciences and the humanities, one of the Centers for Science and Society's research clusters. We have 6 of them, and if you'd like to hear more about them, please sign up on our mailing list. You can do that at the table there. Please pick up our posters and disseminate them, because it's hard to get the word out around Columbia to all the places that people might be interested. But before I hand over to Sara and Shahid, I want to thank the people who, the staff, who did lots of hard work to set this up. And I'm sure she's not in the room, but Roshana Nabi really did wonderful work in advance of this conference, and Kelsey Woodell as well. So please help me in thanking them. I hope they can hear me out there. I will tell them that we have thanked them. And please do sign up for our mailing list and our weekly digest. And if you are interested in learning about more ways that you can participate personally in the center or support any of our programming, we would love to hear from you. So please see a member of our staff at the table. So thank you again for being here, and I am going to hand over to Sara and Shahid. Thanks again.
I want to give my personal thanks to you all. I'm Sara Tjossem, and I'm co-director of the cluster along with Shahid Naeem, as Pamela said. And my own professional trajectory is consistent with my aspirations for this conference and going forward, which is to link those sciences. I'm trained as a scientist long ago, and humanities. And so it's really fun for me to see this conference develop, because we have people with very diverse perspectives and the willingness to reach across both within the university but also with the larger city, and then we hope to expand regionally and internationally, because food and farming links us all globally. So thanks for coming.
So I see I have like 2-3 minutes. So I'm Shahid Naeem. I'm the chair of the Department of Ecology, Evolution, and Environmental Biology. I'm a natural scientist. I always feel I should apologize for that, but it's what I really like to do. It's almost a year, I think more than a year, that Pam had invited us to her office in the midst of doing many, many other activities for the Center for Science and Society. And we hatched this idea that food, as Pam said, and agriculture and agroecosystems really is sort of at the nexus of the humanities, social sciences, and natural sciences. And I began to see this, this nexus quite clearly through my students, who are conservation biologists, ecologists, environmental biologists, and realizing that their work more and more had to include the social and what was going on in the world. I'll share with you some of the work later on. We've had a number of meetings, lunchtime, informal discussions about this enormous topic, and decided to put on this one-day conference. And it's broken up to a number of sessions in which we figured that we're trying to cover what we think are some of the key issues. And you all have the program in front of you, and given the time, I won't go through them in detail. But for each of the sessions, we have a moderator who will mostly try to keep the speakers on time, particularly difficult with me. And then what we're going to do is, in order to make this a little bit more manageable, is that you'll see that there are cards and pens on your seats. And then after the speaker speaks, if you have a question, if you could write that question down on the card, then we'll collect the cards. And then the moderator will choose some of the questions, and of course hand all of the questions to the speakers at the end as well. There's never enough time to get to all of the questions, and it's hard trying to run around since we're live streaming with microphones and so forth, so we thought it'd be best to get the questions on cards. We've done this before, and it can work quite well. But it does mean if you have a question, write it down on that card, and then we'll collect them. And then one quick announcement is that Anna Pamela H, because of the hurricane, her flight's been canceled. Hurricane hasn't hit yet, but they know that they will not be able to handle air traffic coming on. So that's right after the coffee break. I didn't want to reshuffle the schedule in case a lot of people are coming at different times. So we might expand the coffee break at that particular time. Anything else? Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry. So we're going to try to have her connect with us electronically, but as she pointed out, you know, the power often goes out too. So if there's power, and she may connect. We once had an exam with one of our advisors, one of our faculty, Maria Uriarte, who was actually in Puerto Rico in her car on a cell phone trying to give this exam to our graduate student. And then at some point she said, you know, the storm is about to approach, I better get out of here. And so there are people who are quite dedicated to this field. So thank you all.